Hello, hello. I think we're live.
We're live. Hey, everybody.
I believe so. I hit the button.
Feels live to me.
Yeah.
There's my face on the screen.
Sweet. Well, here we are again, back for another exciting MARZ live stream.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah. So, Cory had an idea for something cool.
Yeah, I want to do more Blender stuff, guys. Partially because I'm like, I've been driving a lot of these, so I want to make Jay do some work on camera instead of behind the scenes.
Yeah.
But also, I'm like curious about learning more about this. I've been like, I keep saying it, but I've been pretty into a lot of this cool like 3D art, like especially video and like animated kind of stuff. I'm kind of like interested in like the intersection of 2D and 3D and like moving versus static design. In particular, for my purposes, I'm thinking about like music-related artwork, right? Like
Right.
Like I said on the streams a while back, like I have music that I want to release, and it's nice to have visuals to go with the music. You don't necessarily need like a video or like visualizers, just some sort of imagery, like music's like we're visual people and music's marketed with images, and so like something simple that I thought would be cool to do, just like would be to like learn something about how to like create either like a I don't know exactly where we're gonna go today, but we talked about a couple of ideas. But either creating like some sort of like 3D logo that could be modifiable, or like just some sort of like image that could be manipulated, like a 3D scene that could be posed and designed as like an image, but then could also be taken and manipulated further for other things. And I'm curious about, like, you mentioned something about like importing text or like doing text in here, and I was kind of curious about that process. So a lot of cool like titles and stuff like that made in 3D. So that's the overview of what I was thinking about. That's a real scattershot of concepts.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think we can cover pretty much all of those. They shouldn't be too much for us to get into a little bit at least.
Great.
So yeah, let me switch around here. Let's see. I want to make sure that you can see what I'm doing. So I think we're gonna go to this camera. There we go.
Yeah,
all right. So here we are in Blender. I've got my other workstation set up over here. And we're going to, I just moved everything around and the screen is very dark, so give me 1 second and change the brightness. If the buttons work for me. Brightness.
Do the buttons work for you? Do they work for you?
It's interesting that the levels, like level 4 is the darkest and level 0 is the brightest. I would have, for some reason, felt like it would have been the other way around.
I don't like stuff like that.
Okay, there we go. This cable is really gonna be the end of me. Okay.
Your headphone cable?
Yeah, it's like too short and it wants to like, it's so springy. Everything about these headphones are very like they work great, but they're very like stiff.
Yeah.
Okay.
These ones took a while to loosen up, it felt like.
Okay, so here we are in, it's kind of cool that the NDI doesn't, I guess the monitor is a different source than the controls on the screen, but anyways, all right, so here we are in Blender. Let's start with the text stuff. I think that's the simplest to start with.
Okay.
So if you got your default scene here, I guess we can, let me look at what our double shot here looks like. I know I've got one with both of our screens. Let's see, I just want you to be able to see. Now, if I add in, that's yours. Oh, here we go. This is what I wanted. There I am, on the fly, editing of, oh, it's locked.
Jay's working hard on OBS behind the scenes.
Hey, that's a little crowded, but
It works.
it does work.
Which one's mine? Oh, it's that one.
Yeah, they look the same.
I tried.
I'm gonna just make myself a little bit smaller here, and then Cory can be, just so you can kind of see what Cory's doing. There's just not enough room on the screen to like have 4 displays up at the same time. I guess we could do like quadrants. That would work pretty good.
Yeah.
It's funny because your monitor is that weird
Oh, here. You
resolution.
Does it?
It might auto update. We can try it.
I don't know if that'll change the resolution, but at least it'll crop out that upper bar and stop being weird. Whoop. Oh yeah, and it doesn't show you my cursor. Huh? That's right.
Yeah. NDI can be a little bit weird about that.
That's
Let's
so
try
funny.
this. How's that? That's a little better.
Yeah,
Can you still see what I'm doing on mine?
Yeah, that's great.
Okay, cool. Okay, so yeah, let's add in some text. I'm just gonna get rid of all my everything in this scene to start with, just to have a clean slate. So I'm just gonna hit A on the keyboard and then hit X to delete everything. And then you can simply just do Shift A to add in a new object or get to our add menu. And then you should see text right here is one of the options. And then one of the funniest things with this is,
how do you get that again?
oh, Shift A. and
Shift
then-
A.
Yeah, is the shortcut for the add menu. Yeah. So with text, the way it is by default, tabbing into edit mode like you would normally with like a cube or something, you would edit the vertices. But in this edit mode, it takes you into the type menu, which is weird. This is the only thing that does this.
Interesting.
Oops. So and then you got to tab again to exit that menu. So it should go from the top. So if you hit 7, you can look down at your whatever your text is. You can type in whatever you want. I'm just going to use MARZ as an example. Make sure everything's working here. I'm only streaming to YouTube this time.
Sorry, Twitch.
So, yeah, I think it's just another thing to manage, and most of our viewer base is on YouTube anyways, so. Okay, so once we got some text in here, you can move it around like this, but you can't do a whole lot. But down here in the menu, in this little A symbol, you've got a bunch of options for like the resolution of the text. You can see it seems to only affect the R. I think just because R has a curved surface. Probably doesn't need to be that high. 6 is probably plenty, depending on your font, I guess. So you've got your font families here, and they should be synced up with whatever you have on your computer.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so you can, if you go to the little file menu, you should get your font window up, and you can pick out what font you want.
Oh, jeez. I don't know what my file structure looks like. Do you know where?
Oh, where your fonts are? On Windows, it's just Windows-fonts. I don't know where it would be on
Man, I'll have to look it up real quick.
on Mac.
I mean, I'm sure it's like library fonts or something like that. Library system fonts. I've never had. There's a dedicated program for importing fonts.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So you don't have to go deposit it in the browser yourself. Where are fonts stored? On Mac OS. I'm sure it's like, yeah. Huh. I thought that's where I was. Oh, it's just not alphabet. Yeah, here we go.
Oh, cool.
Huh, I only have 4 fonts. That's interesting.
Yep. That's weird. Did it take you right there when you opened the folder?
Let's just see. I'm just kind of curious. Library fonts. That's not where my fonts are stored. Because I only see 4 fonts in this folder, and I know I have quite a few more than that on this computer.
Are they invisible or something? Can you hide folders on Mac?
I don't know. I don't know why the items would be hidden. Weird. I mean, whatever. We can do things with whatever font.
Okay. Yeah, if you want to use, which ones do you have accessible? Are there any ones that you want to try testing out?
I don't have any specific thing.
You could download one if you wanted to too.
Here are all my fonts with 341 fonts I have in my computer.
Oh, hey, there you go.
I just show in Finder. Aha! System, library, fonts, a hidden folder called supplemental.
Oh, there you go.
I don't know why it wasn't, well, So yeah, I don't know if there's any way to show hidden folders in from the Blender file browser.
Interesting.
That's so weird. Like this folder actually has a bunch of other items in it. Like I'm in that fonts folder right now. This is a very, very odd one, you guys.
It is hidden, so can you unhide it from in your main browser? Can you like in your permissions for that folder?
I forget how like it's really weird because if I navigate to it here, it doesn't show it, but I'm here and it does. Like so, I have one Finder window open where it's happy to show it to me, and one where it's not, and that I've never encountered before. View options, show computer. I'm so annoyed by this. This is not what I wanted to be doing in this stream right now. But it's kind of like silly that I can only use Arial in this program right now. Gosh, I guess here I go. I'm Googling how to show hidden folders because apparently it's changed since the last time I tried.
Let's see. In the meantime, there's not a lot of settings over here. It's just kind of like some paragraph stuff, basic like alignment for your text, some spacing, which can be useful. So all this stuff you'll want to change before we go on to the next step, and you can kind of word spacing, kind of interesting ones. Some line spacing. Text box, how it overflows, fill mode, back, front, and both. Yeah, and then I think the main tab, besides the changing of the fonts, is your geometry tab, where you can set sort of an offset, which kind of, I guess with this font doesn't work great, as you can see, but with other fonts it might be useful. But I think the extrude is probably the most useful out of everything. Yeah. Just like most of the time what you're doing.
Totally, yeah, just trying to add depth.
Yeah.
Like ideally just like adding some depth and like rounding things would be nice.
Yeah. So
I guess we'll just go with this bland font because I can't choose my fonts apparently.
That's alright, we'll make it look cool. So you can also you can add a bevel profile. Yeah, you can. And change the bevel of the text as well, which can look pretty nice if you use it very sparingly.
Is this all within the text modifiers?
Yeah, it's all within that
that
little A. Yeah, there it is. So I want to use bevel profile, and with the bevel profile you can actually come down here and change this whole thing, and it should like create kind of a cool. You can do this with any object, but usually looks pretty good with text. You can create some fancy bevels. Some spots it gets a little bit weird. You can up the resolution if you need to, but it might be that the resolution of that doesn't seem to help either. I honestly try not to do too much in this mode because once you get something that you are happy with, we can do some editing to make it a little bit more customizable. So I'm actually not going to do, I don't think I'm going to do a bevel. Actually don't know how to turn it off. I guess just doing object is pretty much off, no? Setting this to 0. Yeah. Which one did you do?
This is a very, very large bevel.
Ah, I see. Yeah, I wouldn't. Maybe.
You don't want a 30-meter bevel?
I think that like we can start with we can actually extrude the text after we've converted it into an object.
Suppose you want to like start from scratch.
Yeah, I would start with it. Just set your offset to 0.
Mm-hmm.
And then what we can do is just go to object here, and convert is the setting we're looking for. Once you're happy with your beautiful Arial text, and we can convert this into an actual mesh, so we can edit it some more. So it's kind of down there toward the bottom.
Convert
to mesh. Yep. And then if you tab into edit mode, you should see that it's a really nasty
oh god,
mesh. Yeah. There are some ways that we can try to clean this up.
It's really driving me crazy right now that the center point is in the lower left of this. Trying to navigate around my view, and you see me like wiggling it, trying to like.
Yeah, so you can, if you want that to focus on the object itself, if you hit the full stop on your numpad, it should like focus on that object if you have it selected. I think so, you had the one vertex you selected, so it zoomed in on that. But if you go into object mode and select it, it will
okay.
Pick out the whole thing. Yeah, perfect. And now if you rotate spin your mouse, it will
Oh, sweet, yeah.
Spin around.
That's what was bothering me before. Okay.
Nice. So now that we're here, we want to try to figure out a way to clean this up a little bit.
This is crazy.
Yeah, this is definitely not really usable. Plus you have all these tries here. That's the 3-sided.
Yeah, there's a whole grip of them in mine.
Yeah. So one thing we can do, there's a few different ways. We can try the Blender has all sorts of different settings for trying to simplify a mesh. One of those is, and they're all in these different menus up here. Where's the main one that I'm looking for? There's tries to quads is one of those functions. So sometimes it will work to convert. We'll see what this does, but if we hit this button, you should see a few of those tries will disappear. We can go in this menu here and we can actually select the degrees at which it that doesn't seem to be changing much. Oh, there a little bit. I'm just gonna crank this.
So how do you do it? I clicked it on the menu, so I got this thing.
Yeah, so that little, there's a little tiny, it's kind of hard to see, yeah, right in there. So there's a bunch of settings that you can just I'm just maxing this out. And that's still I still get some really nasty tries in here.
How do you see what it's doing or apply it? Or is it happening in real time?
It's happening in real time,
okay,
yeah.
So it's just not actually doing anything.
Once you click off, it will be, it's permanent essentially.
Okay. I've got a lot of triangles still, despite having done that.
Yeah, it's not the greatest, but it can help a little bit. And there's a few other options in here. We can do that would be another one we can try. Sometimes just tracing over this would work really good. And using this kind of as a reference, and creating our own mesh to fit this. Mm-hmm. But you can also use, there's a simplify. Sometimes these are hard to find in the menu.
Right.
One of the ways you can do it is use your search function, which on Windows it's F3. I don't know, it might be the same on.
Yeah, function keys are generally the same.
So if you look up the maybe it won't come up.
There's a clean up command in the mesh.
Yeah, clean up might be it. Mesh cleanup, yeah. Let's try that one. So if you select everything and then mesh cleanup. Yeah, decimate geometry might do something. So if you bring this down, that ratio, yeah, see how it's kind of you can go as far down as you want before you start like losing quality altogether.
Right. Yeah.
So you can get kind of a lower. This is actually kind of a cool. It's kind of a cool look. Still a lot of tries, but it's not terrible. Definitely a lot better than it was.
I'm getting a more interesting font, at least. Like, that's cool now.
Yeah.
Like that. Oh. If I go down to 420, it gets less cool. So 430 is the number for me.
So
I actually really like. Hey, that's like a way has way more character than it had before. It's not a good font, but it's more interesting than.
Yeah.
So that's neat. So if I click out of that, it's applied.
Yep.
Woohoo! And then, like, just out of curiosity, if I try and do that again, do I?
Yeah, it should stack, so you could keep going with it. You might find another one that works.
Whether it's helpful or not, though.
Right. The cleanup.
Yeah, it starts doing the same kind of thing.
Just sort of becomes a line.
Yeah. Yeah. I have the A here is one triangle. So could I try and turn that into a quad or something like that?
Yeah, you can try the tries to quad function again.
I want to select the face.
Oh yeah, see that got rid of some for me. So you can like keep doing these over and over again. There's some really nasty, like this is not a good, this is not a very good quad, but I mean it is a, at the end of the day it's going to be text, so if it's not moving around too much, it's not going to be too.
It's not really wanting to do it for me. I still got a handful of triangles here. One, this one's the worst one.
You could definitely manually fix some of this. So like here, I'm looking at this A, like this is a pretty straight line between, so I could like delete that vertice. I could maybe go into, maybe this would be better in edge select mode. So just hit 2 on the keyboard. Whoops, I don't want to.
How do I split?
If you grab a vertice, if you hit V on the keyboard, you can like, is that what you mean? Like take a piece of it?
No, sorry, what I want to do is I want to split a line.
Oh, Control R is like a loop cut.
Oh yeah.
Is that kind of what you're looking at?
Yeah, that's the sort of thing I'm thinking about.
Like delete these edges and then.
Oops, I did something weird. I don't know how I did it. That's fun.
There's probably one of these. There's probably one of these mesh cleanup options that would work better. Oh, decimate geometry is not. Oh, that's the one I did before. Mesh, cleanup, limited dissolve. Oh, hey, that's interesting. That actually like gets rid of and makes them all one face. Huh.
No, not quite so much for me over here.
Yeah, it's definitely gonna be different.
Yeah, it's like source dependent.
Yeah, so. Mesh, try another one. Not super familiar with the different functions of each of them, but you know, it kind of depends on what your, well, yeah, what your source is.
Oh.
Clean up. Kind of read the descriptions, which can convert all.
Oh, merge by distance did something really weird.
It might have, if you merge by distance.
I just noticed at some point, I accidentally made my M one polygon.
Oh.
Which probably isn't right.
Either way, you know, once you get to a certain point where it's, I mean, the big thing is just like kind of making it a little bit more manageable. And then we can just like, you can actually just extrude this and get that shape, get that more 3D shape going on.
Mm-hmm. Is there a reason to do that, like not to do it now versus before?
Just because like if you saw how when we converted it to a mesh, how much stuff we had, like just there was unnecessary geometry.
Oh right, yeah, we just ended up with like a ton of geometry before. Huh?
Yeah, you would have ended up with like a huge amount of just a mess more to clean up.
Sure.
So with this now, you could actually apply, you can go into your modifiers panel here and find some modifiers to change your text. So if you wanted to like smooth it out, you could add a subdivision surface and make it kind of a weird kind of organic-y looking thing.
I think I want to like try and make this less freaky maybe than some of the other things that I've tried to do in the past. But I kind of like hate how it looks. I feel like it's like close to being good, but maybe I just need to like go in here and like actually move some vertices around.
Yeah, you could do it totally.
So if I want to like keep them from like going 3D, I just need to hit X and Y when I start moving things, right? Like G and then X, Y.
Oh, from like moving, you want to keep them kind of on the same plane?
Yeah.
If you do it just from the top-down view, so if you hit 7 and like look straight down, it will. If you grab a vertex, it will only move on the Y and X axes.
Cool.
So it should stay pretty even.
Cool.
Like this one, I can kind of spread these out a little bit more, clean up some of that stuff. Maybe even delete some faces. I don't know what is going on there. Oh, I guess okay. But yeah, I mean, like you could kind of come up with something interesting.
Yeah. So is it problematic that I have all these triangles going in here still? Should I be concerned about that?
It shouldn't be too much of an issue. I mean, I've got some on mine, and it doesn't look terrible. It's kind of wobbly looking, but
here,
it's definitely a look.
Can you help me? How do I see? You see what I got here? I forgot I did make a vertex here, but it's not connected up. So how do I make that snap to connect?
Is there another vertex right there that you're trying to connect it to?
There's not.
So
should I loop cut it?
Yeah, you can loop cut that spot and just add in another vertex there, just sort of generally where you want it, and then you can move the other one down. And what you can do is select both of those and then hit M on your keyboard and merge them together. And you can merge the center, and then it should be one.
Yes. Cool. And then one. Cool. This thing. If I remove, this thing would be a quad if I got rid of one of these lines. Mm-hmm. So I select it and just delete it. Does that work?
You should be able to maybe dissolve it. I think if you select something and hit D or X on your keyboard and then dissolve vertices, it kind of does a different thing where it...
Did not like that.
Yeah. Oh, I see what you're saying.
X.
You might be able to dissolve the edge.
Yeah, I didn't like that either.
It didn't.
You see what I mean? Like this would be a perfectly fine single quad here. But if I combine these two faces,
and but you'll have a issue with your like the middle part of your A, because it's connected like.
Oh, it's that vertice.
Yeah, it's still on that face.
Okay. Okay. Cool. All right. So then here the solution actually is to loop cut that line then, right? Here and. I'm gonna try this and see if this works, and then you tell me if I screwed up or not.
It's kind of like a puzzle, huh?
Yeah, I just wanna cut that one without. You see, how it's trying to get me to cut two.
Yeah, because it's that there's a triangle up on the top, so it's trying to make that triangle into a.
Like this thing here.
Yeah, the very top one on the top of the A is a triangle, so it's trying to add an extra vertex. It can't loop cut triangles.
I see.
It interrupts the path of the loop. That's the thing with tries, is that when you try to loop cut things, it doesn't know what to do. So it is kind of like piecing together a puzzle.
Totally. So I got quad. Oh, it's just so frustrating though. So if this thing had. Whoa, that ain't right. I got so close. Oh man. So maybe I can clean it up again from here, because I feel like it's like closer to being clean. Tries quads. Nope. I'm still cleaning up my mesh.
Oh yeah, that's the thing about the text tool is like to make it really usable, it's kind of a pain in the butt because it's not very clean when it comes into.
I see.
But you know, it does make it quicker. At the end of the day, it's like, oh, I've already got a good baseline for my text, but you got to do a lot of like custom work to it. So like I should probably just since you're working on that part, I probably should do the same with mine. Just like try to delete and reconnect some of these vertices where they seem. Delete that edge, delete that edge, delete that edge, and like connect these two, and connect these two. And then split this like that. It's kind of a fun puzzle. I don't know if you like puzzles. Like I could just dissolve that edge or delete.
Okay, I don't understand why I can't delete this line. Oh, it's because one's a quad, one's a triangle. That's what it is. Mm-hmm. This is so weird. Like if I deleted that line, it would be a quad. Connected only to other quads, but it won't let me do it.
Which one is this? This is like is this the one on the right there?
This is oh, you can't see my mouse. It's the lower leg of the A that's highlighted in white right now.
Mm-hmm. So I think its problem is see how I've got mine where it's like this is the middle part of my A here, and it goes off and connects another another quad right here. Uh-huh. So if you can. What I would probably do, sometimes like deleting it is the best option. So you can like delete that lower leg and then just like select your two. Like if I wanted to delete this lower
or just
part.
Like get rid of the whole lower leg.
Yeah, and then you just extrude from where you're at, and then like if I wanted this to be, kind of sticking out like it was, I could just create a perfect thing.
Oh.
And then
it just let me dissolve faces on it and do it.
Yep. Did it work?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, there you go. Well, see, now you've got the thing is you've got a 5-sided shape now.
Oh, where?
So see how it's got like
because because there's a vertex there.
The one that's kind of on the right, that's in the middle. Yeah, on that shape. Oh, let me get this up so I can see a little bit better here.
Oh yeah, there's a second.
There you go.
Cool.
So see that one vertice that's kind of. Oh yeah, you're selecting it. If you go into vertex select mode with 1 on your, there you go, that one there.
That's weird. I did that. Okay.
If you dissolve it, it just like. But see that shape is a 5-sided
totally.
shape.
I see.
So what you could do is just like use your Control R. You can keep that, and if you use your Control R and add a vertice to the other side, yeah, just like that, and then connect those two. So select both of those vertices, and then hit F on your keyboard, and hit you fill it, and now you've got There's your quads.
Cool. I think this is the process that I needed, that wasn't working for me before.
Yeah, there you go.
And there we go. Like how do I do this? Cool. So I want to like try and like take this logic elsewhere. So Control R, cut, select F. I think this is what was screwing me up, dude. Here we go.
There you go.
This is what we needed. Got it. And then got a real head scratcher up here at top. But I think I can solve this. So this is fun, man. It's like geometry class all over again.
Yeah.
This was I like to say that I was like good at math, or like that I enjoyed math, but geometry was actually my worst subject.
Oh, really?
Like in math, like calculus was easier for me for some reason. Like maybe this is like it's why I was like destined to do abstract art forms. It's like the abstract layer works better for me somehow.
Huh. Yeah.
I don't know. Geometry just wasn't my strong suit.
Yeah, I was about the opposite. Geometry was always what I enjoyed.
I think it's more intuitive to most people, but for some reason, I don't know. Anyways, so I have. You see what's going on up here. I'll figure out what I'm going to do with this. But I think the trick, the thing that I was missing is just like getting rid of vertices, and then like solving it elsewhere. Like I think what I actually want to do is, do I want this to just be? Well, I don't know what I want to do yet. I'm not going to claim to have an understanding of what I'm trying to do yet. But I think I want to do this and like a bump.
I'm going to merge these.
Nope.
So yeah.
Okay, yeah, how do I solve this triangle at the top, Jay?
Okay, so the triangle at the top.
Oh, wait.
I would just add a loop to the top of your A. Just, yeah, there you go. And then pull that up a little bit and you...
Oh. Why didn't that work right? What's going on?
Oh.
Why didn't that work right?
You might hover over the line itself.
There we go.
Yeah, there you go. Perfect. Now you got a vertice there. You can just pull it up a little tiny bit just to like...
Oops. Ah!
Hey, there you go. There's your quad. See, that's exactly what I was doing on like this part of the M. Was just like, yeah, that's it.
Sweet. So there's like really no like it's fine if I leave that looking like a straight line as long as it's not actually.
Yeah, I mean, like proper, kind of proper quad etiquette, I guess, is like trying not to have it concave.
Sure.
But really, it's not like a huge deal. So if you want to keep it flat on the top, yeah, that still works. That's what I kind of did was just like have mine. I mean, mine's a little bit different of a font, but I had that quad on the top so it's flat, and then had it split off another quad a little further down. And I'm gonna try to connect all of my pieces together here. So I'm just selecting all these and hitting F. I'm gonna fill in a face.
Cool. I'm just gonna adding vertices to all of my tries.
There you go.
I think I got them. They are all quadded out now.
Sweet. Hey, that was
not as bad as I thought it was gonna be.
Yeah, yours is a little bit easier. See, I have a weird thing going on right here where this line goes all the way across to the other side.
Yeah, I could just see from like how it popped out how messy that was.
Yeah, so
maybe I have an opportunity to try and make this look nice while I'm in here. Did I accidentally make things 3D? Yes.
Yeah, so if you hit A on your keyboard and then hit S and then Z and then 0, that should flatten it all out.
Yep. Boy, there's a command that you probably use a lot that
Yeah.
It's like there's a handful of those like keystroke commands like in Ableton that I'm just like you do constantly.
It's great for feet. I think that's what I use it on the most.
Yeah.
Like shoes that I want to be like level with the ground. It's a lot. I use a lot with characters like that. So I'm just gonna like add this in here, and then see now this is nice and clean. Good reference, but terrible geometry. This goes nice loop cut around. This is good practice too, because like this is all stuff that you want to like keep in mind when you're making characters too, is your edge flow is what they call it. So like if I needed another edge loop like right around here, I need some more resolution, I can just add in that nice clean edge loop that goes all the way around. Same with right here. So there's another edge loop or flow. So definitely good practice. Like this one, I'll probably just delete that vertice.
Okay, cool. Yes. It's like I know what I'm doing.
You can also, another handy thing with some of this is if you got a vertice like on a on a line, you can double tap G and it should slide along that kind of along the slope that you already have set up. So like say I've got a vertice way up here and I want it down here, but I don't want to change the shape, I can double tap G and it will slide along the line that's there. Kind of an interesting little command.
Can I ask you a question here?
Sure.
So I wanted to like make this R like a little like the right limb of this a little skinnier. Mm-hmm. And so I split it here, and I want to get rid of this face.
Yeah, you could just hit X and do delete face.
Oh, wait. Okay. I think I was trying to hit dissolve.
Oh, okay.
Instead, and it wasn't. Still, cool. Oh, found a triangle. Found it. Oh, no, you're not a triangle. You have a point. So, like, oh, yeah, there's a funny thing going on over here, too, where, like, these two could be one thing.
Yeah, so you could...
Oh, yeah, well, yeah. Is it worth it?
I mean, if you want a little practice,
Sure.
you can. I would do two. Like, see here, I did the same with my M and this part. See, that's like two quads next to each other, and then they sort of branch into the two stems of the M.
Yeah.
You could sort of do the same thing with yours. If you divide that other side in half, so instead of going that way, I would try, will it let you go the other way? Or no, you might end up needing to tear off part of that. So if you go up to that like top right-hand side, that top right-hand vertice, and hit V to V to
Just do something
vanquish. I don't know. I'm trying to good. Yeah, and perfect. Yeah, then you can like extrude. You could actually extrude that face. So like grab those two vertices
These
that
two?
are right next to each other and hit E and pull that up, and then now you can like connect those. So you want to bring that other vertice out away and sort of line them up next to each other.
The upper right one you're talking about?
Yeah. So like right now they're overlapping. So you could bring that other one over to the left. Yeah, exactly. Oh, I guess that's that one. Yeah, there you go. And you could bring it.
And then, how do I is F to merge these things?
Well, you probably want to set up the, you might want to move those, you can actually move the other two vertices. So yeah, you got them kind of overlapping right now. Yeah, hit M on your keyboard and like merge those at center.
Okay, yeah.
There you go.
Cool.
Perfect.
That's the command I was looking for.
Yeah.
Sweet.
So now you've got a nice clean like.
Yeah, and then you were talking about this. Right.
Yeah.
And then probably do another one in.
Yeah. So that the middle part of the M is kind of wonky too.
Yeah. This is the thing I'm trying to get to addressing. Right. So. Next thing will make a little more sense. So maybe it's like a tear and extrude thing.
Yeah, I would probably take that like the vertice that's like right in the middle of the M, so that one right in the crack there on the top. I would hit V on that one and bring that one closer up to the top. Oh, I guess it took the wrong side. You could grab that other one, and sometimes it's a little bit. It's based on where your mouse is at.
I see.
Sometimes, but yeah,
So that's something like this.
Yeah, that should work.
Cool. And then here, like, I kind of want to like actually like.
You could just delete that one and remake your. Yeah, exactly.
And then like from that line, extrude it or whatever.
Yeah, you could probably grab that line and fill that in. Actually, I would undo that, and you could just select your other line.
That line.
You can actually delete that one too. Okay. And then select that bottom line of your M and the top line of the top of the M. Yeah, exactly, and hit F now. And there you go.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Cool. Okay, I'm pretty sure I can repeat that over here.
Yeah. Perfect.
If I need, I think we'll find out.
It's a lot of shortcuts and
sure
stuff that.
Well, I mean, it's about like so much is about the process too. Like, so let's see. I actually didn't want to do that. I wanted to like probably tear it first. Some point this text will become 3D.
Yeah, no, it's all good stuff.
Totally.
I like this part. I think this is like therapeutic
Yeah, no, I feel you for sure.
Moving the little vertices around, making them comfortable. I could do this for hours. It's very much like doing a puzzle. You know, it's... Oops. I've got to make sure I check my...
Man, that F command is really useful.
Yeah. There's ways you can really make it work for you, too. Like, here, I'll show you real quick. If I delete these edges, say, and I'm like, I know that there's... If I look at my... my vertices, I've got like a perfect setup here for more faces. And so Blender's pretty smart when it comes to like kind of guessing where you want to fill in more faces. So if I'm in edge select mode and I select this edge in the direction that I want this to flow, I can just hit F by itself without doing anything and do it again and do it again. And it like will start to fill out in that, like in the way you have the flow of the geometry going.
That's really cool.
So
like yet another good reason to obey your flow.
Mm-hmm. Totally. Like I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna set it up to do that here too. So got some messy lines that I'm gonna get rid of. Another messy line. Switching back and forth between. I guess here I probably just. Whoa. What the? Don't know what the deal with that is. Is there two faces there? That was strange. Just some weird shading issue, I guess. Bizarre.
Look at me, Jay. I did it.
Hey, awesome.
Oops. The next word out of my mouth is oops. As is tradition. Well, that took a while, but, oop. I said oops again.
What's happening here?
Yeah, that's a great question.
Oh, there we go. I was having some strange rendering issues too.
Oh, but I'm not quite there.
I'll do like this. Oh, I missed a thing. I'll probably end up merging. Not merging, but tearing that off. And tearing this off.
Oh my god.
Oh, what the deal with this is?
I just realized why this isn't working. I'm sure everyone at home can see exactly why. But I am a dum-dum, so it's taking me a minute to figure this out. Oh.
Edge. I don't know what the deal with this is. I'm getting a weird graphical issue going on. Huh. Is this a normals thing? Yeah, it is. Now I need the other part of my Z. I'm gonna just go over here. Maybe do something fancy, curly.
Oh,
Like proportional editing tool.
okay. There we go. Now it's actually doing the thing correctly. Oh no. Apparently not. I merged those vertices, but they did not merge. Any advice about that?
You merged them, but they didn't merge?
Yeah. Maybe I need to merge the face or something. Is that a thing? I think the deal is that there's two disconnected faces in here.
One thing you can do is if you hit, every once in a while I like to do this just in case I've messed something up, is hit A. Oh, I have messed something up, but that's a different story. The heck? Hitting A and doing M on your keyboard, then selecting merge by distance can sometimes get rid of like vertices that are overlapping each other.
Cool. I just hit merge all kinds of different ways, and that seems to at the end of it seems to have gotten better.
Cool. That's good.
Yeah, it's a wacky issue I was having. Man, this is definitely like not how I'd prefer to design a letter. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
there's no quick way to do it.
yeah, totally. Yeah, it's funny. Like, I think the thing would be just like really like having the exact thing you wanted like in 2D, and then just like painstakingly recreating it in 3D. Maybe is like the thing, you know?
Yeah, you could totally import a reference and then do this, like just like trace over, like extrude. You just take a starting line like at the edge of it and just like draw it out, and then scale it and draw it out.
Totally.
Scale it and draw it out. I might actually end up keeping this on here. I don't know. It's kind of a cool thing. I don't know what it is, but it's a thing. It might stay. Cool. Okay. I don't know what I've created, but it is a thing. It's like an eyebrow, I guess. So yeah, how you feeling about yours?
All right.
Okay.
I think it's probably time to like do something with it.
Okay. Cool.
It's kind of something.
So once,
nice eyebrow.
Yeah, that's what I thought too. Once you got something, all we got to do is we can do this with modifiers. Let's do that first, and then we can apply our modifier. It just is a little less destructive if we want to change something later. So if we add a modifier and go to the solidify modifier. The solidify modifier is essentially just adding thickness to whatever we've got. So, and it works based on, see, mine's backwards actually. So I have to fix that, and that's with normals. There we go.
Where adding thickness is going down.
So adding to it should go up, and
yeah, so I'm having the same problem then for some reason. So how do you fix that?
So if you select everything and do Alt-N, we're messing with something called the normals, and you can flip them, which flips it, or you can recalculate them. So what I did was just flip them over. Now it should go up with a positive value.
Yup.
Yeah, cool. So one way you can check to make sure your normals are good, which are like, normals they're sort of a weird thing. Every face has a direction, and if you've ever heard like in a video game the like what do they call it, back face culling? I don't know. It's a term used a lot in video game stuff where if like if you get clipped inside of something, but you can still see through it, like your character, like you clip inside a character, but you can still see outside of the character. That's the back face culling of the object. So essentially they don't render both sides. It only renders one side of the geometry.
I see. Is there something screwy going on with mine that I can see some of these vertices right now? Or some of the lines?
Maybe
some, but not all.
Interesting. Is there any settings over in the what would be doing that?
It's just like there 1 in the M and 3 lines in the A, and that's it. But there are ones that I'm pretty sure that I manually messed with.
So if you hit A on the keyboard and then select everything and just hit M and do the merge by distance thing, did it say down the bottom that any vertices were?
I didn't see.
Oh, it comes up like on the very bottom. It's okay. See if it does it now. See if it works.
0 it says.
Okay, 0.
Let's see if. Well, I just reran it, so. Like,
okay. Yeah, it would have. No, it's still doing it, huh? Yeah. What would that be? Maybe we'll go. What if you right click on your or go into go into viewport. Can you still see them?
Like over here.
Yeah.
Yes, on the face. On the
weird.
Just the ones from the A and just the top end of that.
Seems like you're getting the same graphical glitch that I was getting earlier. I wonder if there's something to do with the text. What if you just do Do the Alt N again, and do recalculate normals.
Inside or outside?
I would just do the let's see. Probably recalculate outside. Then see if they show up now. Huh. Maybe try it the other direction.
Oh.
So now that you flip it, if you look, yeah, they're still there?
Yeah.
Oh, that is so bizarre.
It must be a glitch or something.
Yeah, sometimes it can be, I don't know what maybe there's something in the text. What if you add a material to it?
Oh, that's great. Great idea.
So if you go down to your little, the beach ball down there.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a different menu. There you go. And then just change the color. Is it still? What would that be?
Very strange.
Maybe that.
I'm curious if it's like a property of that line. Like there's something up with that. I don't know. I'm gonna try and like merge the vertices associated with these and see if there's like extra duplicate vertices. Those are still there.
Yeah. What if you What if you try that that command again to mesh and do the clean up and do delete loose or anything like that? Did it say anything down the bottom there that anything was deleted?
It definitely removed it removed the vertices in question.
Ah, yeah. Okay. So somehow those weren't connected. So now if you do solidify...
Weren't connected to what?
Yeah, that's weird. I think maybe that we...
Whatever, it's working.
Okay, cool.
Oh, this looks cool now.
There you go.
Oh, it looks great. It's like a SpongeBob
Yeah.
font. Actually, kind of like looks like...
I'm not sure what the deal with that is.
Whatever, it's cool now. We got it.
If it works now. So what you can do is with the solidify, you can, of course, like keep in mind I have a subdivision surface in here. I'm going to get rid of that and add a new one. And the subdivision surface would make it smooth. So I kind of like yours boxy, but if you wanted it to be smooth, you can add the subdivision surface in your modifier stack here. And then make it kind of, hey, that's kind of the vibe. If you want it to be smooth, you can right click on it and yeah, you got it. Shade smooth. Your M's kind of getting a.
Hey, you know what? You know what? That was the other one that had that. I see it.
Yep, there it is.
There she blows. Okay, so we gotta do that same thing to the M, I reckon. I don't know why it didn't. So we did edge, or no, mesh, clean up, delete loose. Did that not help?
You might select, and those vertices didn't get merged maybe. So what if you select those vertices in the center and then merge by distance? Or merge by at center or something.
I'm just gonna merge everything possibly connected to that.
You might have to do, instead of by distance, do it by just merge at center. Yeah. Because the distance one will only do it if it's close enough.
Oh yeah, there might have been some like tiny little gap.
There we go. Now try the smooth.
That looks clean, and then we subdivision surface.
There you go. Yeah. Nice.
Less of the SpongeBob look.
So if you want to start seeing it more in your rendered view, you can switch over to render over here and the viewport shading, and then add in a light. I'm just going to do a sunlight, I think.
How do you do it? Add a light?
Shift A, and then down kind of toward the bottom more. There's a few different ones. I just like using the sun. You can use any of them.
Oh, I'm in the wrong mode.
Oh yeah, so up here.
Light.
Oh, it should be work. Oh,
I was in edit mode. Oh my god, this has such SpongeBob energy right now. Does it not?
I like it.
Oh, man. Really not intentional, but we're there.
So you want to try? Do you want to do like the? I know you kind of the ones you're showing me were very like organic and like.
I mean, that might be outside of the realm of my ability, but we can take a gesture at it for sure. You're definitely getting closer to that ballpark.
Yeah, that's kind of what and then I was gonna throw in some. Try to do some sculpting with it. But one thing I wanted to try was you showed me one that had like a kind of like just was sort of on a plain background and sort of was like popping out of the background a little bit. And just kind of like sitting on a plane, like it kind of looked like it was like on a physical plane.
I'm wondering which one that was. Let's see if I can like find it. I can pull it up.
Yeah, so I was just gonna like add in. I might actually do this in cycles because I think cycles would give you more of that desired look. Because Eevee has a little bit more.
Oh, look at like even just that like jittery like that's like animating that would be cool.
It's kind of a weird effect, huh?
Yeah, it's interesting.
So like I might I'm gonna add in a camera real quick. Shift A and add in a camera. It should be pointing down. N on my keyboard. I can move this into Z and sort of start to position. It will make it look more like an Instagram post and make it the right resolution here.
I think this is the one you were talking about, Jay.
I don't know if it was that one or the Sophie one.
Yeah. The like totally. I do really like this though. Like you can just see it's just like it's animated by just the light source moving.
Right.
It's really just like cheap tricks. This is what I'm talking about. You know, like if you made a static image, like you'd have to re-render it in 3D to like do anything with it. But if the thing exists in 3D, look at your little like, because it got some like vaporwave kind of energy here. You know, like that's great. So you're talking about here. That's that thing that I showed you is actually a still from we probably shouldn't just share my raw photos folder. There's probably some memes that I don't want to put on the stream. But I wonder how I can find that image.
Here, you want me to? I'll give you some privacy here.
Thank you.
Let me.
There's nothing that I wouldn't be okay with people seeing in here, but it's more just like, there's no inappropriate like for school pictures necessarily, just like memes that maybe aren't like like the sort of things that you want to broadcast necessarily.
Let me GPU compute.
Oh, yep, not that meme. Oh, here's why I can't find it here. This is a fruitless search because it's not on here.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was one of the Instagram ones you showed me.
It was on my phone. The thing you're talking about.
Oh, okay.
Let me see. So the effect that like the effect that Jay's talking about is this it's from. It was using like some like Sophie Live videos. So this actually it came from the SoundCloud YouTube playlist of I don't know. This is maybe a way too much searching for this simple effect to show you what this. Here it is. Oh my gosh. I wish we could listen to this song. This song is so good. This is the image though.
Oh yeah. Okay.
You share the one again.
Yeah. So yeah, it's just like it's just 3D text or it's a 3D text on a really basic background. So like I could do the same thing here. Let me just make this a darker color.
It's like embossed into the background, it looks like.
Yeah.
A smidge.
So I'll just make this like there's the same like it's kind of an off blue kind of look here. Make it even darker. Make this more that's already a whitish gray. That's pretty white color. And then maybe tone down my the computer in here is having.
I know, yeah, it's chugging, man.
Can you hear it?
I can, yeah. My fans still aren't on. It's not working as hard as yours, though. So the thing that I think is really cool about this effect is that it's actually sunk into the texture, I'm pretty sure, rather than sitting on top of it.
Oh, is it really?
I think.
I'm seeing kind of like some
there's
shadows.
an optical illusion, right?
Yeah, because I'm seeing more shadows like on the backdrop than I am like on the text. Like it doesn't look like the text itself has any shadows on it, but the floor has. At least to me, it seems like I don't know.
No, I think you're totally right, but I think it's like the surrealism of the lighting. I'm pretty certain that like, I mean, you know, like it's one of those things where like a bevel like that and a bevel like that from a proper top-down angle, which this is like, you know, I feel like each of these letters there's like no perspective on this. Do you know what I mean? Like the S and the E look like they're not like from different angles. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
Like, and I feel like they're both like the bevels could be going either way. You know, it's one of those things. But I don't see any. There's not like shadows cast in the letters, but I don't feel like they're casting shadows on the background either. It's like the background's just like a texture, and it's not like actually lit. Do you know what I mean?
Ah, yeah.
That's what I'm getting out of looking at it. Yeah, you're totally getting in the ballpark for sure. So you added a plain background. Is that the deal?
Yeah, it's just a flat plane, and then just added color to it to get it to look like, you know, that it just wasn't just sitting in a void.
Totally. So how do I add a flat plane? I'm not sure I know how to do
that. Shift A and then plane is one of the options.
The first mesh option.
Yeah.
And then, cool, then this is a object like any other editable mesh, right?
Yep.
So, I guess I can just do this. Hey, it's like I know how to use this program. Oops. I feel like every time I make a comment like that, it is immediately followed by the word "oops." Have you noticed that? I think I would love. This is Lucius, if you're watching this in the future, this one's for you. Super cut of me saying, oops. It's almost like I know what I'm doing. Oops.
Oops.
I swear that's happened at least 3 times on this stream. Cool. I got my background. Let me see if I have any concept of what's happening over here. Yeah, baby.
Man, this thing is just chugging.
Yeah.
I probably should watch what I'm doing here because I don't know how much this computer can take.
Totally.
This is not a particularly intense scene, but this is an older computer, so... But yeah, let me switch back into Eevee here. Maybe it will calm down a little bit.
Oh, you're right. Oh, you switched render into that's what. Okay.
Yeah, to get that effect that they're using, you know, that they do is definitely cycles. Just like that more like photorealistic lighting stuff is really only capable of.
So you see, like this thing, like I feel like it's got like more like perspective on it than that image does. Mm-hmm. You know, is there a way to there's a way to like not like fisheye it so much or whatever?
Yeah, so you can actually your camera like that you have in your scene, you can change the focal length of.
Okay.
And the same with like your actual viewing camera, you can change the focal length of too. Let me show you how to do that. And a light here. And create kind of a similar thing in Eevee. So if you want to do the same thing, if you insert a camera, and all I did with the camera was I just moved it above the the mesh here. So Shift A and add, and then you can just, if you can't see it, I think it's underneath probably. Spawn, yeah, there you go. So if you just, G and Z would bring it up straight. And then you could position over your thing.
And then how do we jump to the camera's perspective?
Oh, 0 on the numpad.
Sweet.
Yep, that's it.
Cool.
And then you can grab it while you're in that view too. We just hit G, and if you got it selected, it should let you pan around. Yeah, cool. Nice. So with your camera selected too, you can go into that little green camera over here in the data properties and change your focal length. Should be able to see it by default. So you could like, the further your focal length is in, the less like depth it should have. So you might have to adjust your camera though, because it's essentially you're zooming in. So like I do like 80, and then I gotta move my camera back to fit that. But it should have like less perspective. Should flatten it out quite a bit.
Sorry, so those controls are in the...
Oh yeah, and your camera settings. So the little,
cool,
yeah, there it is.
Specialized settings. So is that menu, so I noticed that menu changes context depending on the kind of thing you have selected. Is that what that's about?
Yep, exactly. Yep.
Cool.
So lights, cameras, objects, it turns into a little green triangle. The camera is a different one. The light is a different one. You see that all changes. So in the light, you can change the light settings. So yeah, that one's always, the little green icon's always the affects whatever you got selected, those specific settings.
So like, I'm still seeing, you know, like you see like the M looks like it's leaning to the left and the Z looks like it's leaning to the right. Mm-hmm. It's like the orthographic. That's the thing I'm looking for.
Yeah, so I mean, if you really wanted to,
Ortho versus...
You could, yeah, you could set your camera to an orthographic view.
I kind of feel like that's what's happening in that thing, almost, or something, you know, like where...
Could be.
Where it just like seems like so bizarrely, like all of the edges are like the same.
So it's not going to affect, like moving your camera won't change it. You actually have to change the orthographic scale to zoom in and out. You can't actually move your camera closer or further away, which kind of makes it a little bit confusing.
Okay, well, I'm like, maybe it is just a little bit. You can see like it's a little thicker around this edge of the E, and like this like versus this edge of the E, and then this S is like thicker on the the outsides too. So maybe it's just that it's a really tiny amount popped in there. Mm-hmm. It's more about the height at which it's popped out than about.
Yeah. You could sink it into the ground lower.
Totally. So to do that, like I imagine that's like somewhat complicated to do here, to like push this into like, do you know what I mean? Like, because actually like it's.
Oh, to try to do the emboss thing?
Yeah. Well, I mean, so like to have this like sit on top, obviously it's like doing that now.
Right.
If I change my thickness, which I like jacked up like crazy for some reason, it's gonna feel more in that realm.
Yeah, and you can also just like move that plane further up, like I did. Like mine's kind of clipping through the bottom. I moved it up quite a bit.
Show me again for a sec.
So you can like actually just like move this plane up and down. So see how it's like it is sort of clipping through. So I just kind of slid that plane closer to the top.
Oh, yeah. I don't know. I think my shape's a little simpler or something. I'm not having that so much. But yeah, like that's a cool look though.
Yeah.
It's like works as like a thing. It's not the worst thing I've ever seen in the world.
So you can also, like some of those ones that you're showing me before, they had like the kind of metal look. You can easily add that just like sliding this metallic slider over.
Right.
And then you get some shiny like silver straight away. You could do gold or.
Totally. I think I gotta like maybe move my light so I really appreciate it or something.
Turn up the roughness too. So the lower the roughness, the more like shiny it will be. And then Eevee, you'll probably want to turn on some like the screen space reflections.
There we go.
And maybe some refraction. Could do bloom and ambient. You could turn on all.
How do I switch render engines?
Up here in the in this camera, icon, the very top one. I guess not the very, very top one, but second from the top, you can switch the render engine from Eevee to Cycles. And then to actually see it live, you'll have to switch your render setting up here.
Where's that?
The render preview, rendered preview viewport shading thing. This little tiny, like there's the three ones to switch. So the furthest one over will be like real time Cycles.
Okay, cool. I'm there.
Yeah, sweet. Is that working? Doesn't look like it's working to me. Maybe it is.
I think
it's just so fast. Does it look different than the other one?
You can see it re-render when I change the perspective.
Oh yeah, it's just that fast. Okay.
Oh, dude. Yeah, it's.
Yep, it's just that fast. Okay.
But it's not doing you can see, like, as I change the angle, it's really struggling to re-render.
Mm-hmm.
Get my fan monitors turned back on. I think they're not showing right now.
Actually, I'm gonna turn some contact shadows on to kind of help with Eevee stuff. And then I like to just set the bias all the way down. You can turn up the cascade mounts and stuff like that. You can really crank all those settings. Most modern computers can handle plenty of shadows. You can also change some shadow settings in the render tab here. Like pick a higher cube
I feel like
size.
the light source of this feels like it's the camera. Does it seem like that way to you? It's like I'm moving the sun, or is it just like the sun is so high that it doesn't?
Yeah, so the sun, the only thing you can really do with the sun is rotate it. Otherwise, it's always in the same direction. So it's like an infinite light source.
But coming from the place that it's at, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so see how it's like got that little yellow dot? If you grab that and rotate that, you should get the shadows going in that direction. So like try to grab that.
But I guess what I'm tripping out on is like this thing gets all metallic when I look at it directly, as if as if I'm giving off light.
Oh, right, because the sun is like shining straight down.
But the sun's like now below it.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. It's
But
actually,
it comes from all directions. That's what okay.
Yeah.
That's what I didn't understand.
it's an infinite light source in that direction.
Got it. But it's from everywhere going that way.
Yeah, exactly. So if you grab that little yellow ball on the end of it
Understood.
and like move it around.
Yeah. Do I need to go to edit mode to do that?
You should be able to grab it without going into edit mode. You might have to you can just rotate it too if you hit R and rotate. There you go.
Cool.
Now it will come from that direction.
So I should see it.
So you should see some shadow on there now.
Totally. Sweet. Thank you.
Yeah. There you go. Yep.
Beautiful. Cool. So like I just want to play with some lighting then real quick because I don't really like that effect. I'm gonna add some more lights, but cool. This is like it's working, dude.
Yeah.
This is it. This is the concept.
One thing for the world settings you might try is adding in if you're in Cycles, you can use this Nishida sky texture, which is pretty cool. It's essentially creates like a realistic sky for Cycles. It doesn't work in Eevee, but if you're doing Cycles, you can try that out. So in your world settings here, the very top one is surface. Take the little globe guy down kind of. There you go. And then under so by default it's like this. If you click the little yellow dot by color and then find the sky texture, then you get a little drop down. By default, Nishida's on, so you can just use that. And there's some other ones to try. And it just kind of lights your world with something more than just a plain color. You can get some cool effects with these.
Oh yeah, hey. That's interesting.
Like I probably want to bring up the light on mine here.
Man, that's a pretty cool look. Definitely like
Yeah,
not what
there
I
you go.
sat down to try to achieve, but it's interesting. So now that I've got some more complex lighting, it's definitely Evie's taking a sweet time.
Oh, cycles, yeah.
Or cycles, I mean, yeah.
It will definitely, yeah, it's easy to get it to,
Man, this looks super cool though. Like, what a neat, weird noise texture in the back of that thing. Like, I'm like, I like that. I'm easy to please though.
yeah, so you can do some pretty cool stuff. Once you get, if you get that, you know, try out the texture, you can do some cool effects. I've never really tried to do stuff like this before, but it seems to do some neat stuff.
Which one are you using?
So all I did was cranked up the metallic and added some more, rough, or lowered the roughness. And then it might not be as shiny looking if you are using something that's more that's more like blocky, like that, like low poly.
Right, yeah. Yeah, you're not gonna get all the nice refractions.
Right, because it just doesn't have as many surfaces to reflect off of.
Totally. So like, what if I wanted to round off these edges a little bit? You have the modifier?
Oh yeah, so there's the Bevel Modifier you can try.
Cool, that's...
Definitely try to, you can use those for non-destructive editing, which is nice. There's always options to try doing things non-destructively, which is great. This is interesting. I don't...
Man, I'm like really into this look of like this like glitchy attempt being rendered. But so this is what I'm talking about. So like my whole thing about this is like, you know, like cool, here's one image of this, right? Like whatever, it's top down. But like boom, yeah, zoomed in on that's another thing. Like you can, but here's like another one, you know, that was like useful for something else. Like you want to like use this as like a backdrop for something weird, or like I don't know, like make a flyer with it. And like here's just like another perspective on this weird thing I made. I didn't have to create anything. I just looked at it from a different angle, and like it's cool still, you know.
It's pretty great. It's
like
definitely...
if this, I guess I need to make my plane bigger. Is there a way to just like expand the sizes of this plane on all sides, Jay? Like scale it larger.
Yeah, you could just if you got it selected, yeah, you could just ask. Since it's flat, it's only gonna scale
totally
one way.
Perfect.
And you can just scale it big enough that you just can't see the edges of it.
Yep. I mean, I'm gonna get some low angles, so
yeah,
I have to scale it up pretty big. Whoop, 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 whoop. But like, man, I think that's cool. I like this.
Yeah.
Like the actual, like whatever, you know, like I'll get better at doing the actual thing, but like that's neat. I feel good about that. I like it.
Cycles is great. It makes everything look like really nice. I dig.
It looks like it's like that. It looks like film grain.
Yeah.
Very pleasant.
And that will stay. There are ways to get rid of it. It's definitely lots of workarounds if you don't like the film grain.
I feel like this bevel isn't doing much. I'm trying to figure out why. Is it because of that?
What the? What did I do here? There we go.
Seems like these bevels only have 2 settings. It's either on or off. I'm not sure.
Doesn't give you any options to.
Well, it's just like this, like a mount slider is just like it's either it turns on and then turning it up higher doesn't do anything. I'm like,
Huh.
like boop, and then oh, here's like jacked up all the way. Here's 80 meter bevels.
Interesting.
And here's one.
Let me check it out here.
Seems like they'll increase in size to a very limited degree, but that's as big as they'll get.
Bevel. Yeah, interesting.
You can bevel the vertices?
Oh, try the percentage. Switch this width type to percentage.
There we go.
Yeah.
Yeah. Neato.
That seemed to work better.
Yes. And then segments is how complex the geometry is.
I believe so.
It looks like it.
Does it add just more detail to it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So cool. So you could use like a small number of segments to like create like a faceted gem kind of look or something.
Very sharp edge, yeah. I think there's a profile. Yeah, you can do custom profile too. So like this is where you could like change it. Maybe this won't do it with the percentage one though.
Hey, how would I make these like transparent? Like if I wanted to make these like gems, can I make them transparent?
Yeah. Eevee or Cycles makes it pretty easy. In your shader here, let me. Oh, this computer's gonna get so mad at me.
We'll see.
Cycles. I'm gonna turn on my.
I still can't hear him.
So, in your shader, we might have to go into the shader properties here. There's actually a. So if you go in your timeline, I just brought this up so I can have more options here. You change your timeline to the shader editor, and then you'll see, this is like the node tree stuff. You'll see your principal DSBF, which is like the default, just colored shader. But if you shift A in here, you can add in, there's a bunch of different shaders. There is a specific glass BSDF shader. And
you just got to link this to the surface?
Well, this one you can straight up just use as the surface. Yeah, exactly.
Oh, like pull the things into...
Yeah, you'll want to replace the principal BSDF.
Oh, I see.
Then you can change the color. Like say I want it to be like a sapphire or something. And then that's this is like as realistic as you could probably get. This is more, I mean, it's more like glass. There's probably a better way to make like a crystal look. You probably would end up layering different meshes inside of
to get like the depth of like something like that.
To get the actual crystallized forms inside. Sure. But this is glass, so you could layer pieces of glass inside of this glass and really get a cool look. Can make it rougher or not too. And then there's IOR is like the index of refraction. Mm-hmm. So diamonds probably have a very specific index of refraction.
Let's look it up.
IOR of
you got it?
diamonds.
2.4175.
There you go. 2.4175.
And then I'm using Beckman algorithm. Is that the?
Yeah, that should work. There's not a particular I think they're all. do different things. You can test them out. I don't think they look much different. I think maybe it's more of a performance thing.
Yeah, now it's really having a hard time rendering this out.
Yeah. This is when it gets real. Start adding glass shaders. Cycles, the thing about it is it renders, it is physically simulating
Right.
every bounce of light.
Totally. So like I love it because when you move the camera, you can see it happening.
Yeah.
Like you get chunky pixels as it's like does a pass, and then you can see it filling in the gaps. It's really little insight into the function of it. It's pretty fun.
Pretty amazing technology.
Yeah, dude.
It's like if I were to let's render this and see.
Oh, I should probably check out my camera's perspective, huh? What's happening?
I kind of feel like I want more. I want to switch this temporarily back to this one. Because I want to. I feel like I need more to this. So I'm going to apply some of my modifiers here.
Oh man, I'm really having difficulty placing this camera.
Yeah.
Like it's super. Like, is there a way to like get the camera to jump to where my perspective is? Because like it's super easy for me to navigate to like sort of an angle that I want to like see this at.
Yeah, it's a control. Oh man, control something 0. Control shift 0.
Let's try it. Nope. Oh wait.
Camera to view is the name of the function. Control Alt numpad 0. Yeah, Control Alt 0. There you go.
Sweet.
And then you can also use the one of the nicest like ways of I feel like positioning a camera is the walk navigation.
Totally. How do you enable that?
So if you go to View up here in the top, and then go down to Navigation, and then before you click on it, you should see it there at the bottom. If you right-click it and add to your favorites, then if you're just in your camera view and you hit Q and do walk navigation, you can move it around like a there you go. And then you can WASD to fly around, and I think Shift makes it faster.
Sure does.
And then scrolling makes it move slower. So you can scroll up and down to like move slower or faster.
Whoa.
It's looking kind of chunky now. Which is what I wanted, I guess. Just do like a really rough. How's that working for you?
I'm just really making my life hard by doing it in this view. Doing it like in the render engine. Keep
Oh yeah, you definitely want to
like not clicking before I like should lose my perspective. I think I like this angle. I'm gonna like pop a render out at this angle. Dude, that's cool. I like your like fuzzy action up there.
Oh yeah, I don't know. It's kind of weird looking.
So how do I render this?
F12 is your render button.
Sweet.
And there you go.
Beautiful.
Should come out nice and Nice and rendered. I'll let it bake.
Does it really want to do this for that long? Wow. This is a... Oh, it's got my fans going.
There you go.
Finally. They haven't turned on for quite some time. Ooh, they're spinning. Ooh la la. I've been really, like, I still haven't heard the fans on this thing yet. I'm like...
Oh, yeah?
Someday I'll find out what they sound like.
Well, here you go. Blender
I know, this is like its chance. It says that it wants to render this for 20 minutes.
Is that the ETA on it?
Uh-huh.
Wow.
I'm told that there's something going on with Blender rendering with the M1s that it's not, something's up.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, it says it's a sample, it's rendering sample 224 out of 4,096.
We could turn the samples down too. It's totally a possibility.
So it's just going, what it's doing is just going through passes, just making it higher and higher resolution.
Sort of. They've changed the way that Cycle works now. It used to kind of do, like, it would take segments and just take the light bounces. So it's calculating the
100% CPU usage.
Yeah,
We're using
there you go.
Full, all 10 cores.
It's a weird process that it actually, like, waits for it, like, spits out a ray of light and then it bounces everywhere, and whatever ones hit the camera, it computes that. So that's what each sample is one, like, bounce of light. So it goes in, it bounces everywhere, and then hits the camera, and then the computer's like, okay, here's what I got out of that one bounce. Now I'm gonna do it again and shoot another beam of light.
At
and it's
like
gonna
a
bounce
slightly
everywhere.
different angle, or like.
I think it might. Yeah, it's
Or
probably at a different angle. It's probably there's an option in here for bounces. So there's a number of bounces that it does, and there's a number of paths that it does. So here's the total number of bounces, and then there's different bounces for every type of material.
Where are those options?
In the little camera option here, and then they're kind of down a little bit in light paths.
Light paths, got it.
So there's the bounces. So the beam of light will bounce 12 times, and it will do that. The sampling, mine's set to, this is viewport, and then render is 4. So it'll do that 4,000. It will send 4,096 bounces. Or not bounces, but rays of light to bounce. So it's if you want your samples to render faster, you need less bounces, but you get less accurate results.
Sure. It's cool. Like, I like sitting here looking at the render window. Like, as we've been talking, like, there's like the grain is disappearing, and like you can just see like the refraction from the lettering has like gotten more accurate. We're still not quite a quarter of the way through this render though. Can you interrupt this? And will it like?
Yeah.
Will there be a file there?
I don't know. If you hit escape, you can see what it does. It might totally stop it, but
I still can't tell if those are my fans or not. One second. I'm so obsessed about this. There's a air purifier blasting this room.
Is it going?
I heard them.
You heard them?
Dude, this thing's been running on 100% CPU for 5 minutes. And the fans are only spinning at like not even half speed.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
Wow. Surprised it gets away with that.
Well, we'll see how much longer it lasts. The temperature is rising. But it's pretty shocking. That's crazy. Actually, you know what? The temperature is not rising. It's staying at a nice toasty 92 degrees Celsius in there, but it's not rising. Oh yes, it's rising. Neat, so you're just doing some deforms.
Oh yeah, I don't know what I'm doing anymore.
It's really cool, man. Like the
Looks kind of like melted mercury or something.
yeah, it's pretty jacked, like in a lot of ways. But like, I really like the M.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
I don't know. Let's see what that looks like. It's not as nice in the... I feel like it looks better in the... Actually, let me just... Probably because I'm not using the right... This might help. Yeah. Probably a... with this kind of material, I'd want to put an HDRI texture, which is essentially just like a real life place.
Trying to remember how to do this process. There we go. I have to reset my file browser in the terminal every once in a while. Running Max forces you to become a power user at some point, whether you like it or not. But it's cool. Like Unix, it's like a Unix OS, and so like the terminal is super accessible. Like you just like type kill all doc, and it refreshes. Basically, it means things that might like this like the app switcher and the like these things stop working correctly. My like gestures.
Oh, I see.
So I'm curious, like as this thing's rendering.
Mm-hmm.
I guess these there's no like. I wonder where it's spitting these. I think I had it going to the desktop. Like I'm curious, like if it just like it writes a temp file in the location or whatever. Ableton will do that.
It could be. It could be like.
I don't see one. Well, this thing's still not halfway done rendering. It looks cool though. So like, man, I'm gonna stop it. I think. I don't want to keep this going for that long. Stop it. So if I wanted to, like, I'm gonna try and do it with like. Let's just render 3 bounces of light. Oh, the same render time apparently.
Really?
Well, it's dropping rapidly now. Same number of samples, 4,096. Yeah, similar render time with 3 max light bounces.
Huh.
Interesting. Actually, it's happening faster than it says it's gonna happen.
Yeah, I don't know how accurate the like estimates are.
Doesn't seem like it's moving very fast. I don't think we should wait up for this.
It's not even a Z anymore. I don't know what it is. The snake hook tool is a fun one. This is probably the one that you'd like, the snake hook.
The snake hook. Seems like something like a cowboy would have to own.
A snake hook.
Yeah, man, dropping that light pass way down does not seem to reduce the render time significantly on this machine. I mean, we'd see in a real world situation. Yeah, snake hook.
So it's kind of like it just like pulls stuff.
Yeah, I bet you a lot of the things that I'm looking at are made that way.
Although I could turn on my, actually let's just turn this off. This is gonna look terrible.
Whoa.
I'm actually gonna like.
It's kind of cool.
Maybe apply these. Apply. If I turn on dyno topology. Ooh, that looks cool actually. Interesting.
So I think right now we're seeing the advantages of a dedicated hardware for this kind of thing.
Oh yeah, for sure.
You know, I have a real general purpose machine, and I did not opt for the crazy hard, like a serious GPU option. I went for the middle of the road option on that. So there's a GPU with twice as many cores as mine that you could get.
That would, yeah.
But it still like doesn't even come close to the performance of like a desktop, like, you know, like a 20 or 30, or well, maybe a 20 series, but like the 30 series now. Yep, 1/10 of the way down. Yeah, 15 minutes still to render this with 1 max light bounce. Fun.
How they got turned off, that's weird. Oh, I see.
Yeah, and it doesn't look nearly as good with those settings either.
Oh yeah, definitely gotta like, it's gotta take its sweet time to
Totally.
render
I
out.
just don't think we have time on the stream for it to occur.
Right.
Yeah, I think it would be definitely not worth it to like render it that low.
Well, how do you feel about what you've learned today?
I feel like I've succeeded at doing what I attempted to do. Whether I can actually look at it later, you know, be a little bit, but it's awesome. Definitely some questions I had answered.
Cool.
It's definitely a first attempt at something.
Yep. I don't know what I was doing, but I don't know. It's kind of weird.
It's cool. I mean, it's sort of that like what is it turning into like a weird sword or something? It totally reminds me of that artist though that, you know, is showing you.
Yeah, this is probably like if I was trying to do this and emulate more of what the style he was doing, I probably would have gone straight to just trying to sculpt something.
Yeah, I'll show everyone what I'm talking about. I follow this artist on Instagram whose account is called Kushlet. From India, I believe, but their renders are incredible. They do these like cool flyers with these like weird, like this. I kind of wonder if they're doing this in VR.
Oh.
Maybe, you know, just like there's so much density in the space in the way these lines are. You know, might be faster to paint that in VR.
Definitely faster to sculpt it a lot of times.
Totally. Like in particular, this green line in this. One of those things that makes me feel that way. But I certainly don't know. But they have these just like really cool like mix of like organic and like natural and unnatural textures in their work. Like this rock texture next to these like sort of like hyper real plastic textures and stuff like that. It's a lot of that like really fun stuff. They're doing all sorts of rad album art for artists, which is, and like posters and things like that. Here's one nice. This one we were looking at earlier as an example.
Oh yeah.
And you know, you can kind of like, in terms of the process that we just did, you can pretty much see it, right? Like, like assuming this is like, I assume this is a font.
Oh yeah, that's the, yeah.
You know, like these, like the O and the R and the H here are so consistent in the way that little thing is rendered in the middle that like it really has a fonty vibe about it. So it's like you find yourself a cool font, lay it down, thickness, bevel, metallic texture, lean your camera back. There it is, you know. Cool. I know how to do that now.
Yeah, it's
I think.
It's pretty much you know, you I think having like a reference is always good.
Sure. See, I'm an expert. Obviously, look.
Yeah. There you go. Hey.
On my way to making some art.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really find this sort of thing inspirational. Oh, geez, dude.
Is it still going?
Oh, it's not even close to being done, but I'm just like,
oh yeah,
man, this is rad.
That's pretty cool.
I love this. But you can kind of like, you know, like I almost wonder if this stuff on top is like done with modifiers or something.
Yeah, I mean, it could be sculpted. It could be like
It could go a lot of ways with
it could be, yeah. I mean, what's really selling it there is the material too.
Yeah.
It's a pretty good, nice looking water material.
Totally. And then the texture on the text below it too. So it's got some interesting refraction on an interesting texture.
It's probably some like subsurface there's some cool stuff that you can, because it's kind of like fleshy looking almost. You kind of can get some subsurface, which is like,
it's a thick fluid. It's not like
it's
not totally transparent.
What you can do is the subsurface stuff is like, you know when you like shine a flashlight through your hand or something, it kind of has like a red tint to it.
Yeah.
That's the subsurface. Is like there's light behind, like with your ears or something. If you're in a bright light, there's like that undertone kind of that shines through. It's like actually just like, you know, the subsurface of color, and that gives it that realistic sort of look to it.
Oh man, you can't really see the details on this, can you? Oh my gosh,
that one's pretty cool.
That's a great hair.
Oh.
So it's like this. I love this art. It's just like it's all about texture, and
right?
Like playing with texture and like weird in form. You know, super neat. Anyways, I find this sort of stuff really inspiring. I like abstract art in all kinds of ways, but like, yeah,
it's pretty sweet,
fun. I think it's a real challenge to create something in the digital domain that like has this sort of like visceral energy. I mean, these are like rendered actual objects, so that has a bit of a different kind of a feeling. But you know, these kind of like abstract but like visceral, real feeling things. You know, like I don't know, something about it. I'm a fan.
Cool. All right, so should we wrap it up for tonight, you think?
We better.
Okay.
I guess I'll be here for another 15 minutes because I shouldn't have stopped this. I guess. I'll let it keep rendering while we're cleaning up, and we'll see how far it gets.
Okay.
I don't think it'll finish. Sweet. Thanks for showing me this stuff, man.
Yeah, we'll do some more. I'll come with more ideas later. So do some more cool stuff. Kind of practice. Maybe have some demo files going into it.
Yeah.
A little easier to show off after researching a bit. Because I haven't done a whole lot of this kind of stuff. A lot of the things I do, you know, more character-based, you know, rigging and setting up for animation and stuff. So it's kind of a cool, different side of it that I haven't really gotten into yet. So
totally.
I'm not sure where all the tools are to make the really cool stuff.
Right. I feel like it'd be fun to like, you know, if we wanted to get into this again, I'm just gonna pull up in that like thing again, just real quick. Trying to do something that is like one of these where it's just like, you know, like a scene with like some objects with a few different textures on them.
Yeah.
Like one of these guys. Like I think it'd be kind of cool to like attempt, you know, just like build like a couple like make a diamond or something like that, and like, you know, or like make like a, I don't know, like I like this kind of like rough metallic sphere, and like, you know, just like kind of pose some weird objects and like juxtapose some textures. Like, it's just weird fun, you know.
I think that'd be cool. Maybe I'll come up with like a scene that's already set up, and then we can just add textures to it or something.
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
I'm about it.
Cool. All right. Well, I think that next week we might have a kind of a special one for you guys.
Oh yeah.
So we're possibly going to be streaming live here on YouTube and also on cable TV on Access Humboldt here locally. I'm not actually sure what channel it's going to be on. I will be hopefully posting stuff about it and promoting it next week. But we have the possibility to be simulcasting on cable TV. So it's going to be pretty cool. I'm excited for it. I think it'll be neat. We'll keep everybody posted, and I'm sure we'll probably promo it. So I think we're going to do kind of a tour again, sort of a slight introduction to us streaming on Access Humboldt, and then possibly a studio tour, and just like talk about what we're doing at MARZ and stuff like that. So kind of a good little like promo tour kind of dealio. So should be pretty fun.
Little behind the scenes action.
Yeah.
See how things have changed, see how things have stayed the same.
Yeah.
All that good stuff.
So I know we've done this before, but it'd be for our new viewers. So maybe if you've been around, you'll learn something new, and if you haven't, you'll learn all the new things. So it'll all be new.
Cool. New. It feels new to me every time. So.
Yeah. All right. Well, I guess we will catch y'all next week.
See y'all later.
Bye.